Good morning to all. Let's proceed further with the one method which is very common in qualitative research, and that is multi methodology or multi methodology, or it is also called as multi method research or MMR. You will see that yes, this is the most popular method that is used in qualitative research work. However, the approach that has been taken to understand it is very different one. So let's understand, and this is one particular domain wherein I would be focusing in depth, so that we understand what are the various research methodologies which are there, perspective, standpoints, and paradigms also, number one. Number two, then we can go ahead, pinpoint it to the particular pragmatic, let's say, the approach that we are going to adopt and proceed further. So first introduction, as a lay person, I always see that it is better to open a Wikipedia page on that particular topic and look at it, what they are telling to you first of all, and then go further into the depth. So as a tradition of mine, I'm just opened up the Wikipedia page, and here you will see that it is the called as the MMR. In fact, is also being titled as what you can call it as multi-time methodology, number one. Number two, it is also called as multi-method research, and going forward it is also called as mixed methods research, or which is called as MMR. So let us understand what it is and how we can proceed further. Now, this method includes the use of more than one method of data collection or research in a research study or a set of let's say the related studies which are there. Now here they're telling you that it is the mixing of both qualitative and quantitative data, methods, methodologies, and the paradigms in the research study or the set of the related studies which is present. And this method I have seen is more popular in the schools of the business studies or law, you can say, journalism, mass communication, and social sciences also to some extent, and we will understand more as to how to approach it also. Now in this particular research, try to understand that it has been called as a special case of multi-method research, which means that there are other methods also which are available, and we are going to focus on one of them which is right now visible to us. Another applicable but less used method is what they call it as the multi or mixed research. It is also called as the methodological pluralism. Now you see, the only reason why I am focusing on all these things is that in qualitative research, everyone takes it for granted that okay, these are the few schools, so let us go ahead and use a little some of the softwares like NVivo, and that's it, I'm done with my qualitative research. No, that's a very wrong approach that we are taking care of it. So here you will see that there are the approaches to the professional and academic research which going to let us know about the mono method researches that can be improvised with the use of the multiple data sources, methods which are there, research methodologies. Try to understand this. This is very important. Perspective, standpoints, and paradigm. Reason being, if you are entering into this particular field, then I'll just be explaining to you with this example only. The term multi-time methodology was started in 1980s, and in 1989 there is a very popular book which has been published, and that is basically multi-time method, multi-method research. Okay, synthesis of styles by John Brewer and Albert Hunter, and this is 1989. This is our prime book that we will keep, and then we will proceed further. During the 1990s, the used terminology, that is mixed methods research, has become more popular popular for this particular research in the area of the behavioral, social, business and health sciences. So we would be calling whatever we would be discussing under this topic as MMR. Okay, and here you will also see that this pluralistic research approach has been gaining popularity from which era, from the year of 1980 and even late 80s also. Now here you will see that the most popular method that they use is the pragmatism and mixed methods. We would see what are the other ones that are available. However, pragmatism in that way is another integration of the qualitative as well as the quantitative method, okay, which is being used in this particular research, and it has been cited by Flozak 2014 and papers. I'll be showing it as I proceed further. Now, on the one hand, quantitative research is characterized by the randomized controlled trials, research questions by literature review, gap. I mean, I'm not supposed to tell you as to how we are doing the quantitative research, whereas in qualitative they are telling you that you need to understand the socially constructed realities with the lived experiences. This is the main thing. So pragmatism in that way is going to reconcile the differences and integrates both quantitative and qualitative research as it has been given, where the open systems interact with each other at the point of their boundaries. For example, if you okay, I'll show the example later on, so let's proceed further. Now, pragmatic philosophical positions, these are important for us to understand. Some of the popularly known pragmatic philosophical stance can be understood while we are conducting the mixed methods approach. So you can say that yes, I am following Charles Sanders Peirce's methodology, or the most popular one is William James, because he is the one who talks about the truth more and more, and then comes the third one, which is by the John Dewey. Now here they're telling you that a research paradigm, okay, provides a framework based on what constitutes how and the knowledge is formed. Now, as I keep telling again and again, this particular knowledge that we are talking about is what I keep sharing it, and I think in one of my, and I would be doing it here also in upcoming videos which are going to be uploaded and recorded from my side, and you will see that I would be discussing as to how that particular knowledge is being formed, okay, and we need to know these things also in case you are using this method. Pragmatism allows you to go ahead between the qualitatively driven and the quantitatively driven methods also side by side. So why is it that when you are doing your PhD or MPhil, you're just focusing on logical positivism? Here is another approach, and this is what prompted me. Okay, let me proceed further and share these things also. So you have got these ones. Now, for example, if I go ahead and choose the Persian Peirce's methodology, then you will see it is a philosophical method to solve problems towards the end of the 19th century. It has been given to the work of Charles Sanders Peirce. Now, for him, research is conducted and interpreted from the eye of the beholder. Now, here is the beholder as a practical approach to investigating social affairs. He sees science as a communal affair, leading to single truths that are arrived at from multiple perspectives. So here you will see that a subject is present, however there are multiple perspectives which are available for you, and all of them are leading to what we call it as a single truth. So we need to understand as to how to proceed further and understand it. So here while conducting this kind of a thing, Peirce's pragmatism and its approach to this one supported the qualitatively driven mixed methods studies. My favorite one amongst the pragmatism is the one taken care by William James. Then he turned out to be, I mean, the history I'm not entering into it. He introduces what we call it as the radical empirism, reality as a function of our ongoing experiences, okay, constantly changing at the individual level. So try to understand, we are changing every moment and how to go ahead with it. Now James emphasizes that reality is not predetermined, and individual free will and the chances matter a lot. Now, this is the crux of his philosophy, and we need to understand and proceed further before we imbibe using it in the research. Now, this qualitative research emphasizing lived experiences. Now, James also finds the truth in empirical and objective facts, merging the divide between qualitative and quantitative research. So, he says that no truth is independent of the thinker. Now, you see, the schools are there, they say that truth is independent of the subject. So, there is this boundary. Other says, no, both of them are present and you are able to see the association between them the way they are looking at it. Now, the other question arises, is there just one subject? No, there are multiple subjects. So, each one of them is looking at the reality. So, what is that reality going to be is what we need to understand in this particular MMR. Now, if you go further, John Dewey is the one, Peirce's pragmatic method and James' radical empirism, that is approach towards the experience by application to the social and political problems. Okay, this one had given, and his philosophical approach is interdisciplinary, and again Deweyan approach is very important for us. And here he talks about more about the most important thing, and that is what I call it as the live experiences, okay, that constitute reality, where individual lived experiences form a continuum by the interaction of the subjective, internal, and the objective, that is the external condition. So this matters a lot in Deweyan's case, and we will enter into the depth of his understanding first, try to pick up some of his written books, authored books, or the papers, and then we will see how this has been influenced with his approach towards the qualitative methodology for the MMR. Now, his approach is open-minded and inquire is to his central epistemology. So here from the ontological or the metaphysical stance, you are moving towards what we call it as the epistemology. The next one is Richard Rott, the most difficult writer, I should say. However, he also somehow went I should say took the initiative, and he started looking at pragmatism, and then he said that, okay, let me give a better view for it. So he introduces his own ideas into pragmatism, into the importance of the culture, beliefs, and context. Now, you see, this becomes really important in the business studies if you are looking at the culture, beliefs, and the context in which that particular scenario is taking place. He shifts from understanding how things are to how they could be, and introduce the idea that justification is the audience dependent, and pretty such any justification finds a receptive audience. So first the subject and then the justification, and once you have got that kind of justification, how it is being taken care by the others who are existing in the community also side by side. So you will see that Rott research is a peer dependent, not peer group neutral, and is not just the merging of quantitative and qualitative. Try to understand that he is also including what is called as the peers and the supporters also side by side. So looking at the different schools that we have got through these writers, the multi and the mixed methods research, okay, we can see there are three broad classes that has been taken care of in the research studies, and they are called as the mixed methods research. So one, first and foremost, is the quantitatively driven approaches or the designs, in which the research study is at its core a quantitative study with qualitative data method added to supplement and improve the quantitative study by providing an added value and deeper, wider, and fuller. Now you see, when you are talking about this thing, it is from qualitative, then you are I'm not going to use the word come up with a quantitative number. There are those tools tools which are available, and I was surprised that okay, if I get this threshold value, then I can jump to the quantitative analysis immediately, and that gives you the richness for your research. Now the second one is the qualitatively driven approaches or the designs, in which the research study is at its core a qualitative with quantitative data method added to supplement. In this case, what do we doing? There is the prime focus is on quantitative part of it, and this is being supplemented by what I call it as the qualitative study. Whereas in the second approach, qualitative study is the important one, and this is being supplemented with what we call it as the quantitative. So this is the reverse of the other one, and we will see once we go ahead and understand Heze Biber's work in 2010 that has been taken care of. Whereas in the third case, you can see it is the interactive or equal status designs, in which the research study equally emphasizes both qualitative and quantitative data methodologies, methods, and the paradigm. The third design is often done to use a team of the composed and of an expert from the quantitative research, an expert from the qualitative research, and an expert in mixed methods. Now you see, what does this mean? Expert who knows the statistical world from the quantitative domain, a person who knows what is qualitative research, there's a different one, and the person who really understands what is the mixed methods research. All three are equally important for us to do it and then proceed further, and this is something that we need to focus upon and try to understand. The apart from the third one, we have got the fourth one also, which is very important, and this is the mixed priority design, in which the principal study comes from the integration of the qualitative and the quantitative. The differences between all these four, I'll be showcasing it via the help of my notes, and then you would be able to understand as to what are the features of this and how well you can choose when you are doing your dissertation or a thesis, and then you can approach further also. Now apart from these things, now there are other varieties also which are available. For example, Creswell talks about a lot a research strategy which is also called as the methodological triangulation. We will discuss this in length later on. Then there are approaches, research approach towards this thing as to how to go ahead and understand the various ways in which you are doing your MMR. Then the next one that you can think about is what we call it as a single approach designs. Like I was telling you, qualitative research designs are also there, as we can see in the domain of quantitative research. So we will understand what are those different designs that are available and how to carry forward. For example, SAD, which is a single approach design versus the mixed multiple approach design. We will enter this thing and we will understand more about it. So I think this can be a very short introduction to understand what exactly is the multi methodology or kind of the mixed methods that we are talking about. Now software, definitely yes, I love Deduce because it really helps you out. It's not a open source. Again, you will have to purchase it. MaxQDA is something which is very helps you very nicely. However, again, it's not free. NVivo we all know, so I'm not going to focus much upon this. QDA Miner is again a very good source and one can look into it. Quarkos is something that I have been introduced to, and I really like that particular software, as it has been discussed with the help of the team, and how we can, they're all very free, and the tools that are available. And lastly but not the least, you have got the OpinionX is a mixed method survey tool, which has been again started off somewhere in Ireland, and then they are taking care. Now apart from this, there are other open sources also which are available, which I'll be discussing in my forthcoming videos exclusively on qualitative research. Till then, take care and bye.